Hi everybody, Forata Live here with another Keyforge video. Mass Mutation is out and this video is going to be a deck opening video. I'm going to be going through a brand new deck, opening up, going through the cards in this video, letting you see what it's all about, having a look at some of those sweet enhancements in Mass Mutation. So let's have a look at the deck we're going to be going through today. Okay, so we are going to be taking a look at Clarke, the Utterly Focused. It's a Saurian Untamed deck. Looks like there's a few enhancements in there, some interesting cards. Got a Gateway to Dis, that's nice to see a bit of a board clear. Obsidian Forge, okay, a couple of Soul Fiddles, so some artifacts in Dis. And then looking in Saurian Consul Primus, Monument to Ludo, Perfectus Ludo, nice, Spoils of Battle, City-State Interest Exile, Nerotaurus, that's a nice rare to see. And then in Untamed, what have we got? Demo Beast, Flume, Double Gloriana's Attendant. Now they're going to put some Aember into the deck. Keyfrog, another Key Cheat, Rapid Evolution, Savage Flash, Fangtooth Cavern, World Bounty, Word. Wow, there's some interesting cards in here. So interested to go through the deck. Let's just go through it card by card and see what we've got. So kicking off with Untamed, and this is an excellent card to see. It's a rare, Word of Returning, it's a reprint, comes with an Aember Pip. Play, deal 1 damage to each creature for each Aember on it, move each Aember from those creatures to your pool. Now with the amount of Capture and Exalting going on in Sanctum and Saurian in Mass Mutation, this is an epic card to have in the deck. Really pleased to see this. This can take creatures off the board and take a load of Aember and move into your pool. So if you're up against one of those Capture or Exalt heavy decks, this is a danger card for the opponent. Wild Bounty, so that's put 2 Aember Pips of enhancement in the deck, which in itself is great. Play, the next time you play a card this turn, resolve each of its bonus icons an additional time. Now that's going to be handy if I've got some good enhancements here in Untamed. If there's not too much in Untamed, this could be a bit of a dead card, but at least it's put those enhancements in the deck. So let's see what next, and next up is an enhanced Fangtooth Cavern. Look at that. Fangtooth Cavern, a great card for disrupting your opponent's play. If I've got some fairly strong creatures in here, this will be a handy card to have, particularly up against Shadows in Mass Mutation. They've got a lot of 1 power, 2 power creatures in this set, so Fangtooth Cavern dangerous for quite a few decks out there. That's one of the extra enhancement pips. It's in Untamed, so possibly a good target for that Wild Bounty. Song of the Wild, we've seen this before a few times. So play, for the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature gains Reap, gain 1. And now Savage Clash. This is an Untamed board wipe of sorts. It's an action. Destroy each creature except the most powerful enemy creature and the least powerful friendly creature. So that's going to leave your opponent's best creature on the board potentially, and your smallest. But that can still work in your favour. And if you've only got 1 or 2 creatures on the board, you might still be leaving something more powerful than the opponent. Rapid Evolution, another action with an Aember Pip. Play, choose a creature, give it a +1 power counter for each Aember you have. If you've got a big pool of Aember, you could be really powering something up. Niffleape, while Niffleape is attacking, ignore Taunt and Elusive. It's a 3 power creature. We've seen it many times before. Handy to have in the deck. If there's a lot of Niffles here, that would be good, but I think this is just a one-off. Now here we go, Keyfrog, 2 power creature, it's a beast, destroyed, forge a key at current cost. Let's have a think now, if that's my lowest powered creature and I'm destroying it at the end of my turn, that's a potential end of turn forge right there. So I think this is a good card to have in this deck. I'm liking the look of this deck so far. Gloriana's Attendant. So this is a mutant version of cards we've seen before with those 2 Aember Pips, but this time those Aember Pips are on a different creature. So it's a 1 power creature, so not going to want to put this out if I've got the Fangtooth out, really, if it's going to be an immediate target. But that's got one of them that's put 2 in the deck. Now this one I probably am going to want to play because it's picked up one of those Aember Pips. Now whether that's from itself or maybe from that Wild Bounty, I'm not sure, but one of the Aember Pips there. Flume, loving these creatures, love the artwork on Flume. The cat creature's actually an Untamed, looking surprisingly strong. Really love to get a deck with some Flumes, some Lumilus, maybe a Mercy, Malakin Queen in. This has just got the 1 Flume, 3 power, skirmish, fight, give a beast creature 2/1 power counters, so it can sort of power itself up. It's got one of those Capture Pips on there, so it's got an enhancement from one of the other cards. That's a good card. Demo Beast. Quite like this. So skirmish effect, destroyed steel 1, that's the Demo Dis effect. So 3-power creature with skirmish, okay, not too bad. Now let's look at the Saurians. Again, let's kick off with the rare here. Nerotaurus, epic. 6-power creature, fight. Enemy creatures cannot reap during your opponent's next turn. Reap. Enemy creatures cannot fight during your opponent's next turn. That is a brilliant card. I've been really looking out for this in this set, because I really love the fact you've got a choice there. What you do with Nerotaurus can dictate what your opponent can and cannot do next turn, and that gives you some flexibility. So brilliant card. Stomp. Great creature removal. Play, deal 5 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, exalt a friendly creature. That's a good card to have. Siren Horn. That's an upgrade. This creature gains, before fight, move 1 amber from this creature to the creature it fights. So that's handy if you want to get amber off your creatures and onto something that you're hopefully going to destroy. Comes with an amber pip anyway, so a handy upgrade. Exile, play, give control of a friendly creature to your opponent. So I think with this deck and with Word of Returning and a few other things, there's certainly some shenanigans you could pull off there with an exile. Comes with the amber pip. City State Interest, another reprint, but handy. Play, each friendly creature captures 1, and again that's an action that's got me out of a few difficult situations where my opponent's been about to forge, but if you've got a decent board you can just capture it and spread it across the board. Thero Centurion, great card. 6-power, 1 armor, play, fight, capture 1, another great way to get amber off your opponent. Oh, now this is a heavily enhanced card. It's Spoils of Battle, comes with an amber pip. A friendly creature captures 1. Each creature with amber on it captures 1 from its opponent. So potentially, again, synergizing with City State Interest, you could be capturing huge amounts of amber. But I think the main thing there is that 3 amber pips with the 2 enhancements. So that is a big card. That's half a key right there. Plus, you're going to be capturing off your opponent. This is a card I'm pleased to see in this deck because it looks like I'm going to be doing a lot of capturing. Profectus Ludo, 5 power, fantastic card to see reprinted. Each other friendly creature gains destroyed, move each amber from this creature to the common supply. That's going to be a key card to protect and keep on board with the amount of capturing going on. And here's Ludo's Monuments. So these monuments proving to be a bit more effective than I thought from the kind of previews of the set. This one is an artifact that says action, move 1 amber from a creature to the common supply. So getting it off your creatures potentially and just into the general supply. If Profectus Ludo is in your discard pile, move 2 amber from that creature to the common supply. So maybe you're going to capture off your opponent and then dump it in the supply and basically deny your opponent the ability to get it back. So liking that. Defense Initiative. I really love the artwork on this card. Great card. Play, ward a creature. You may exalt that creature. If you exalt it, ward each of its neighbours. So potentially 3 creatures getting warded with this card. I like it. I mean, there's a bit of risk reward there because you've got to exalt. But ward was really strong in Worlds Collide, and I'm not seeing as much warding capability in Saurians at the moment. So I think I'd be keen to see this, protect some of those key creatures you've got out on deck. Now, Curse of Vanity, this is a new action with, again, a nice piece of artwork. Comes with an amber pip. Play, exalt a friendly creature and an enemy creature. So you have to think about how that's going to play out for you. Hopefully that's going to help. Maybe you're exalting a target before you kill it off. Consul Primus, I like this card. So that's responsible for that capture enhancement that's gone into the deck. 3 power creature, so not a big dinosaur here, but reap, move 1 amber from a creature to another creature, and that's a creature. So you can move it from any creature to another creature. You can move amber around the board, either setting something up or just moving amber from one of your creatures to one of your opponents before you then fight and kill that creature. So pretty strong Saurian lineup there. Kind of liking this deck so far. Now let's see what we've got here with Dis. Soul Fiddle, it's an artifact. I've actually got 2 of them here. This has got an amber enhancement, so that makes it a little bit tastier. Not so keen to see the enhancements on artifacts, to be honest, because those artifacts tend to be sticking on the board and staying in play rather than cycling through your deck. I guess a creature or an enhancement that's more likely to come around a second time would be better, but still good to see. And Salford has the action Enrage a creature. There's my second one of it. On the face of it, that doesn't sound that powerful, but it's not bad, and it's out on the board. Every time I call this, I'm enraging my opponent's creatures, I'm denying them reap or other actions, so that denial can actually be more impactful than you might think. So it's not a completely dead set of cards, but probably could have had a couple of better dis ones if I'm honest. Now, Relentless Creeper. Interesting card. After you choose Dis as your active house, you may return Relentless Creeper from your discard pile to your hand. So he keeps coming back, keeps coming back. Having that capture pip on it makes that really quite nice, because this is a card that can recur itself every time I choose Dis. So that's a good card to see. Oh, it looks... I don't know. I'm getting an awful lot of enhancements on artifacts in this deck. It's a big artifact deck, actually, but this is Obsidian Forge. Great key cheat artifact to have out on board. Get it out there. This has got an Aember pip and a capture pip. Destroy any number of friendly creatures. You may forge a key at +6, current cost reduced by 1 for each creature destroyed that way. So that's going to really benefit me from a big board. If you forge a key this way, destroy Obsidian Forge. Anguish. For each damage on Anguish, your opponent's keys cost +1. That's some key cost control. Now, I've got a couple of these Waking Nightmares. They've put capture enhancements into the deck. This is probably the highest enhancement deck I've seen, I think, with the number of enhancements going on. I have to count them up at the end. So it's an action, comes with an Aember pip, puts a capture enhancement in your deck at play. Keys cost +1 for each Dis creature in play during your opponent's next turn. So that's some potential key cost control. I've not got a huge number of Dis creatures here, so still pretty handy. Imp Spectre, that's picked up one of those Aember enhancements. 2-power creature destroyed, your opponent purges a random card from their hand. That can be really damaging if you get lucky. Gateway to Disc, almost an essential card, I think, in this set. Really proving strong because it's that immediate board wipe. Yes, you pick up the chains, but so many different synergies you can play off that. I'd take those chains for the ability to wipe the board, particularly if there's a lot of unprotected Aember on creatures. That could be massive for you. Another artifact, Dominator Bauble, which is a really handy one to use a creature off house. And then finishing up with a couple of Brabbles here. So destroyed, your opponent loses 1. If it's not your turn, so if it's on your opponent's turn, your opponent loses 3 instead. So you really want them to destroy your Brabble. So in some senses, that's a bit of board wipe protection. You know, you can wipe the board, but if you take these Brabbles off, you're going to lose 3 each time. Probably, you know, and they're going to lose 1 even if I'm destroying Brabbles. So I think that's a pretty nasty card to have out, and a couple of those on the board probably going to deny my opponent a few bits and pieces. So overall, what are my thoughts on this deck? Well, I actually really like it. It's got a lot of enhancements in there. Really has. Yeah, I think I'm liking the M10. There's a lot of Aember control, a lot of it through capture. It's got a lot of ways to disrupt your opponent. I think those Saurians are going to be capturing. Ludo is going to be a really key card to keep alive as long as I can on board. Not necessarily the quickest deck in the world. It's got, counting them up, 15 creatures, 14 actions, so on the face of it maybe a touch low on the creatures. Actions maybe slightly above average. I think averaging about 12 or 13 actions in a Mass Mutation deck, and something like 19 creatures, so that's giving you an idea there. So it's a bit low on the creatures, but it's making up for it in the artifacts. I think that's where this deck is way above others. And 2 different key cheats in there: Obsidian Forge, which relies on creatures on the board, and the Keyforge, where I can kill it off, which does synergize pretty well with that Fangtooth Cavern. That's a kind of play in a turn where I can probably put the Keyforge down and rely on the Fangtooth to kill it at the end of the turn. In terms of enhancements, 6 Aember pips going in from the Gloriana's Attendants and the Wild Bounty, 3 capture pips, so 9 extra pips in there. There's a lot of Aember in this deck. It's probably not the quickest deck in terms of turning through the cards, but it's going to generate a lot of Aember just by playing the cards. The Saurians have got a lot of capability to capture off your opponents, so I'm keen to try this out. I think this is going to be one of those decks that it's going to struggle against some maybe some of the stronger, quicker decks, but I think it's got a lot in there. It can stall your opponent. It's got ways to get keys out of sequence. Yeah, I think this is a nice deck. Clarke the Utterly Focused. It's a Dis Saurian Untamed Mass Mutation deck, and I'm definitely going to be trying this out in the Crucible. If you've enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button. Please check out the other videos I've got on this channel. I've already got a load of Mass Mutation deck reveals and openings just like this up there for you to check out, see what the decks are looking like in Mass Mutation. If you want to see me playing with decks like this one, check out Twitch. I'm playing occasionally over there, most weeks, at least 1 or 2 nights, to get some games in, and trying out a lot of Mass Mutation decks at the moment. So please do follow me there as well. Thanks for watching.